Most of the women in my life and nearly every woman that I speak to on a daily basis has had some sort of success with weight loss, whether it was
Hey bestie, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Bestie, like the video because it helps with my algorithm. So in today's video, we'll be talking about how to maintain weight loss. So I've put the stitches together so that you watch. I'll be back to share my 2 cents.
Most of the women in my life and nearly every woman that I speak to on a daily basis has had some sort of success with weight loss, whether it was intentional or unintentional. Yet most of them are also still not happy with their body and the amount of weight that they have gained. It's likely that you know how to lose weight. You've probably had some success with that in the past, but do you know how to actually keep it off? The problem rarely comes down to your ability to lose weight, but rather your ability to keep it off long term. Because here's what likely happens. You try something super restrictive, you can't sustain it, and you burn out. Most of us are taught to approach weight loss in this one restrictive phase. The problem with that is that you have no exit strategy. When you go back to your old lifestyle and eating habits that led to weight gain in the first place, but you do it after a period of calorie restriction and losing weight, you're working with a slower metabolism. So it is so easy to regain the weight and some. The key is to actually have a strategy or a phase after you have lost some weight or after your calorie deficit, then focus on getting your metabolism efficient again. Regardless of where you are within your weight loss journey, whether you are just getting started or you're at the tail end of things, strength training needs to be a priority. When you work out with the purpose of not just burning calories, but to actually retain or build muscle, you are putting yourself in a position to be able to effortlessly maintain your weight loss. Having more muscle on your frame increases your BMR, or the amount of calories you are burning, simply by doing nothing. You will get so much farther if you stop overcommitting to how many days you are going to go to the gym and you set a realistic plan for yourself. You can still see incredible results by going to the gym 3 to 4 days a week, no longer than an hour. Even just 2 days a week, month over month, is better than just stopping and starting again. It's also so important that you restore your calories to a sustainable maintenance. But again, we can't just go back to our old eating habits. We have to do this slowly and strategically by adding back in calories over time. This can look like adding 50 to 150 calories each week. But if you notice that your weight goes up drastically in a given week, or if you notice that you are consecutively gaining weight for 3 weeks in a row, then you can go ahead and hold steady and not increase. Continue to do this until you find you're in a place where you're not gaining weight and you're not losing weight, but your calories are also in a place that just feel very sustainable. There really is no perfect blueprint for this, and everybody's journey looks a little bit different. The best thing that you can do is just monitor your progress and continue to make adjustments based off how your body is responding. And if you're really struggling to do things on your own, then consider hiring someone.
You actually want to lose the weight and keep it off for years to get to the point where you feel like you can intuitively maintain all your weight loss progress without double thinking every single thing you put in your mouth and being stressed about it 24/7. Your weight loss routine needs to look a whole lot freaking different than people who lose 30 pounds in 2 months just to keep going through this cycle of gaining it back, losing it again, gaining it back, losing it again. This is where the whole idea of sustainable weight loss comes into play. Sustainability doesn't only mean just eating enough calories in one day. Losing weight sustainably is not doing an hour of cardio on the treadmill or Stairmaster every single day just so you can finally get to that perfect number on the scale. Or saying no to whenever your friends invite you out to go eat and eating your chicken and rice meal prep at home. When you go into trying to lose weight with the mindset of I'm just gonna make it work or I'm gonna be super disciplined for 3 months, the second you stop that unrealistic routine, you find yourself back at square one, which is the most exhausting place to be, feeling like you finally reached a goal and then regressing all the way back to gaining the weight back. Doing weight loss in a way where it is going to last for you forever happens on a plan where you have the freedom to go eat out whenever you want. Going on work trips and still seeing progress even when every single ounce of food isn't perfectly in your control. Going to the gym a realistic number of times per week, even if that's 3 times a week for 45 minutes. And a nutrition and exercise strategy that fits into how your lifestyle already looks, with being busy with work or school or having 2 jobs. When you go into weight loss this way, thinking about how your strategy is going to look like after you get to your goal weight instead of just the time up until that point, that's when you're going to shift into a maintenance phase after weight loss, whenever you've reached your peak confident self and you're really happy with how lean your body looks. You're not going to ruin all your progress and you're not going to be back to square one feeling like you have to do this whole disciplined putting your life to the side thing all over again. So if you're trying to come up with a routine for yourself, if you're looking at that routine and strategy and you're like, yeah, I'm going to do this for 5 months and then I'm going to be able to like be relaxed and chill and not do it anymore, that's how you know you're literally setting yourself up for failure in the long run. And that's exactly why when I work with my clients, if getting to the gym 6 days per week isn't something that they see themselves continuing, we don't even start out at that point. That's why I don't put them on super strict meal plans where everything they eat is on paper and they have to check those boxes or they're not going to get the results that they want. What we do is audit menus together, look at choices at restaurants that they want to go to that's going to help them hit their goals. Plan their days and nutrition choices around events that they're having, like weddings or bachelorette trips or travel. We lose weight and we get success while doing those things because those are things that you're going to be doing for the rest of your life. I promise you I did not lose 30 pounds and get to the point.
How do I maintain my weight without going insane? This is a really, really good question, especially with someone who has gone through a fitness transformation over the last, I would say, 10 months. So back at the end of June of last year, I started my fitness journey, and I started by running and being in a calorie deficit. The combination of doing cardio and a calorie deficit off and on for about 2 months had me lose about 25 pounds. And the best part about this is I was able to transfer that weight and maintain lean muscle. I was really consistent with it, really strict with it, but the truth is that I did hit some plateaus in the last year where I would find myself binge eating and kind of overcompensating for the amount of restriction that I was having. And the truth about that is that our bodies are going to fluctuate over time, especially as women who, have hormones and emotions kind of like mixed into that. And that's just one of the biggest things to know, is that your body is going to fluctuate. And how great is that our bodies fluctuate and adapt based off the time of the month, based off of certain things in our lives. I think it is a beautiful thing. Now, how do I not go crazy with it? It's really all about balance. So during the week, I am a lot more structured. I do not eat out during the week. If I do, maybe it's like once a week. So I know really what's going into my body. I focus on high protein and high nutrient value foods. So that really has changed my relationship with food. So every time I'm eating a nutritious meal, I see it as a form of self-love. I see it as taking care of myself. Now I'm also going to the gym 3 to 5 times a week. 5 times a week whenever I'm really, really consistent, and 3 times more just for maintenance. The combination of living an active lifestyle, loving healthy, nutritious food, and drinking a bunch of lemon water all day, every day, allows me to eat cake on the weekends. It allows me to have a sweet treat on a Thursday night. It allows me to have dark chocolate all the time and just maintain that balance, maintain the healthy relationship with food. I don't think there are such thing as bad foods, but there are foods that I'm going to avoid 80% of my diet. It's really all about knowing that your body changes, accepting the plateaus because those will happen, but as long as you are striving to be better every single day, you're going to see results. It hasn't even been a year for me yet. I still have maintained that fat loss and I still am getting leaner but also stronger every single day. And wherever you are in your fitness journey, in your health journey, just know that if you don't love who you are exactly right now, there's no way you're gonna love that version of yourself after your goal weight or your goal physique. It starts from loving who you are exactly right now and loving that you have an able body that's able to move, that's able to learn about what's good for you, that you actually care. A lot of people just don't care. So if you care, that's really a great.
If your goal is fat loss and you want to lose body fat, you want to lose the weight and you want to keep it off, there comes a point where you have to accept that this is going to cause you to change your lifestyle. If you don't want to just lose weight and gain weight over and over again, you're going to have to examine parts of your life and recognize that some things are going to have to go. And this is where so many people, they try to hold on to a past version of themselves so hard instead of looking at it in the sense of who would I want to become and what would that person be like and what would my life be like if I became that person. And this is not always easy because it's going to make you reflect and look around your life at the people that you spend the time with, the friends that you have, what y'all do for fun, and it's going to make you re-examine these things. And I know when I was on my fitness journey and I started taking charge of my health, I used to hang around these people. I do not talk to them at all anymore, but I was hanging around people and I had quote unquote friends that all we did was drink. Well, a big thing is when you start to want to be healthier, you want to go to the gym, you're eating healthier, is your byproduct is you're not going to want to drink alcohol as much because that just makes you feel like shit and you're not going to go to the gym and you're not going to want to do these things.
So I had to re-examine those types of relationships. And what I saw is that when I stopped wanting to do the behavior like drinking that just led me down bad paths and held me back from reaching my goals, that those people didn't really want to hang off me anymore. So it made me have to find new groups of friends that align to my new goals. And so that's something you need to think about on your fitness journey, is that you cannot hang on to the old you and become a new person at the same time. You're going to have to choose. And I can just tell you from my personal experience is choosing the person that you really truly know that you are meant to be and going that other path, as scary as it is because you may lose people along the way, you're going to be so much more damn happy. I'm telling you that right now.
I saw this girl's TikTok today where she was talking about how she always loses weight. Like she'll lose it and regain it and lose it and regain it. And she's never been able to successfully maintain. One thing she mentioned in the video was that like she's lost weight. She understands what a calorie deficit is. She's lost weight through counting macros, but she can't sustainably count macros the rest of her life. And so she doesn't see how it's the right way to weight loss, which is totally understandable. So here's how I basically help my clients go from counting calories in a weight loss phase to transitioning into maintaining their weight successfully without feeling like they have to count calories for the rest of their life. First thing you need to understand is that like calorie counting and macro counting basically are supposed to be used to teach you what a deficit looks like or teach you what eating in maintenance looks like. And some people have a preference. I mean, I'm a weight loss coach. I've been counting my macros and calories for years now. And at this point, it's just so easily ingrained into my life that it doesn't even feel like a chore. It's just really easy. And there are some days where I don't count. And there are some instances where I literally don't track a single macro, like vacation. But most of the time, since I'm very goal oriented, I'm someone who likes to track macros. And I think personally for me, it is sustainable to do it long term. But that doesn't mean it is for my clients, and that doesn't mean that I make them do it either. But let me give you an example. Like one of my clients, Savannah, she had about like 10 to 12 pounds she wanted to lose. So we used tracking calories and macros to get there. And once she hit her goal weight, we did a reverse diet. And if you don't know what a reverse diet is, it basically is just slowly increasing your calories over time after you've been in a calorie deficit for an extended period of time. And as you do that, you watch how your body reacts to certain calorie intake. And then after that, once you successfully meet your maintenance and the data is there to tell you that, okay, this calorie intake that we've been eating at is producing the result of maintaining our weight, that's when you can then successfully transition into eating more intuitively without feeling like you have to track calories and macros all the time. When I do this with my clients, I make sure that we keep track of what their habits look like week to week when we're in those maintenance calories. So after a reverse diet, I normally walk them through like at least 2 more weeks of eating at maintenance so that they can experience what maintenance calories feel like when they're eating their normal foods at home. And keep in mind, when you're in a calorie deficit, you should also be keeping those foundations the same when you shift into maintenance, right? So just because you have a higher calorie intake, you're still eating a lot of the same ingredients, a lot of the same meals, a lot of the same things that you love because you built a really good foundational diet that is sustainable. Once they have a couple weeks in maintenance calories, tracking them, and you can tell, okay, I have experience knowing what it looks like to eat at my maintenance calories at home in my normal routine, but I also make them track calories and eat in maintenance when they're eating out, when they have events, to make sure that they get experience also knowing what it feels like to maintain and eat within maintenance calories intuitively when they have things that are outside of their normal lifestyle, like a wedding, for example, or a weekend trip. Because the habits that are necessary when you're eating at home, when you can like volume eat and stuff at maintenance calories, are a lot different than the habits you need whenever you're more so taking like a portion control route or eating until you're full and being really sensible about portions when you're eating more calorically dense food outside of your house. And then you use that knowledge and experience that you've built tracking macros during that time to slowly transition into intuitive eating, where you keep the foundations of that diet the same and you're not using intuitive eating as an excuse to just go eat whatever you want, right? You're still being sensible about it and fueling your body in a healthy way. So then you just track your data from that point. You continue weighing in so that you can see how your habits are affecting your body. And then you can be honest with yourself of like, okay, if I'm seeing an upward trend of weight gain, then I know somehow my habits have changed and maybe I need to lock back in and figure out what's causing that. And then you get in front of it and it's not, oh, I didn't weigh myself on the scale for literally 12 weeks and I look back 3 months later and I've gained 10 pounds and don't know why.
You wanted to know how I got lean and how I'm staying lean? Stop following every single high protein recipe that you see on TikTok. Just because it says high protein does not mean that it fits within your calories or that it's healthy. And start being high protein, whole foods, clean ingredients only. And then having like one night a week where you can go and have your favorite pizza, do whatever. Surprise! I know. I don't know why people are saying that it's all this crazy stuff that you need to do. It's literally so simple. So let's get into it. So I got my notes here, but I'm going to start off with a disclaimer. What I'm about to tell you, whether I tell you I eat this many calories and this many grams of protein. That doesn't mean that it's for you. It's like it's my prescription from a doctor. You can't go use it too. Like, you have to go get your own prescription. Please do not take every single thing I say and be like, I'm gonna do that, and if I don't look like her, I'm gonna go find her and punch her in the face. Like, no, please. Okay, now to answer your question, how I got so lean. So I've been in this space for a long time. I was a college athlete, so I've always been in the weightlifting space. But I started off really, really tiny. I had no booty. I had nothing. I did have a little six-pack because I was literally anorexic. I worked out all the time in college with soccer practice, and then I would go eat like french fries and pickles. That was all. So I got out of college and I was like, I look like a 12-year-old boy. Like, I need to do something. So I started gaining weight. I gained a bunch of muscle and some fat, but all I was doing, I was just eating high protein. Don't just eat high protein, because you can be eating high protein and also be eating high calorie and high fat. Like, now I want to see what I look like cut. Like, I want to see this muscle girl. Like, I've worked hard. I'm trying to see it. Oh, I didn't want to track calories. Tracking calories just seems, I don't know, a little bit too tedious, and I just didn't want to do it. I was honestly lazy. I was like, I'm not doing it. I don't want to do it. So I just literally switched my entire diet to high protein, whole foods. That's literally it. That's all I did. I don't buy nothing that's got stuff on the back that I don't understand. I ate till I was full, and I hit my protein goal every day. I don't track calories. I only track protein. That's how I got lean. Long story short, I switched to clean ingredients and just stopped eating whatever high protein recipe I saw.
That's a video, bestie. So I'm just here also to add on like what I think about today's video. How to maintain the weight loss. Maintaining weight loss is honestly a new chapter compared to actually losing the weight. When you're in the losing phase, you're motivated, the numbers on the scale are changing, your clothes are fitting differently, and have this constant excitement of seeing progress. But the moment you reach your goal, the game changes, bestie. There's no more like you want to lose. Now the real change is staying there without going back to your old habits. And here's the truth: maintaining weight loss is about building a lifestyle that feels natural, sustainable, and enjoyable, not a set of punishment. You force yourself through every day. You don't want to feel like you're living in a constant diet prison. Instead, you want to find a way of eating, moving, and living that doesn't feel like a chore. That means you can't just go back to how you were eating before you lose the weight and expect the result to magically stick. It's about creating a new normal that your body and mind can live with long term. One of the most things to understand about maintenance is that your body is always going to try to go back to its old set points. It's just how you weird it is. After losing weight, your metabolism may slow down a little and your appetite might increase. This is why so many people regain the weight. They think they can relax completely, but their bodies are quietly working against them. The way you beat this by being intentional, keeping some of your old weight loss habits like tracking portions or checking in on weight loss once a week. But once you allow yourself more flexibility, you're not in hardcore mode anymore, but you're still aware. A lot of people maintain their results by sticking to a balanced diet most of the time, but allowing themselves treat without guilty. It's not about perfection, it's about balance and awareness. Another thing is consistency is a secret weapon here. You might have lost weight by eating in calorie deficit, but for maintenance, you want to figure out your maintenance calorie. The amount you can eat without gaining or losing. This will take time, trial and error. But once you find your sweet spot, you feel more in control. Also, exercise become less about burning calories and more about keeping your metabolism healthy. Your body strong and your mood stable every time. You don't need to work out like you're training for Olympics, but keeping up a routine of walking, strength training, or doing activities you enjoy will make maintenance so much easier. Movement should feel like part of the right lifestyle, not a punishment for eating. Another big thing that people underestimate is mindset. When you lose weight, people notice, they compliment you. But when you're maintaining it, the compliment slow down and you're not chasing being visible change anymore. This is where your why has to shift, okay? You're no longer doing this to the scale drop. You're doing it to protect your healthy, your confidence, and all the work you have already put in. You have to decide that getting the weight back is not an option. When you keep the promise to yourself, the small decision every day, like skipping the extra slice of cake or choosing to go for a walk, start to feel less like sacrifices and more like self respect. Planning ahead is another lifesaver for maintenance. Life will always throw parties, vacations, stress, and season of biasness at you. If you don't have a plan for how to navigate those times, That's when old habits sneak back in. Maybe you know how you're going on a holiday and you indulge more. That's fine, but balance it with lighter meals or more movement before and after. And if you had a stressful week, find comfort in non-food ways like taking a hot bath, reading, or calling a friend. Maintenance is not about being perfect every single day. It's about never letting one indulgement moment turn into weeks or months of slipping away from your healthy habits. Also, don't underestimate the power of self monitoring. I'm not saying weigh yourself every day and obsess over uh everything you see on the scale, but do keep form of accountability. That could be taking progress photos once a month, checking how your clothes fit, or weighing in once a week. This small checks in helps you catch small gains before they turn into something harder to reverse. Think of it by brushing your teeth. You don't wait until you have cavities before you start caring. You do little things consistency to prevent problems. So finally, giving yourself grace. Maintenance is not straight, perfect line. There will be times you go up a few pounds and times you go down. What matters is that you stay with a range you're happy with and don't let small other things send you into panic mode or nothing thinking. Remember that your body is a living, it will change with hormones, stress, and life. The win is not in never, it's going to knowing how to get back on track quickly and effortless. At the end of the day, maintaining weight loss is a commitment to yourself. It's not about chasing perfection, but about honoring the body you work so hard for every single day. So basically, you have to keep like in track yourself every time. Check yourself if you want to maintain the weight loss. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.